Willie D Live.
We also got Donald Trump, who is having some blues on the civil side. He caught himself filing suit against some people, and they filed back, and now they are threatening to expose his innermost secrets. This is horrible, fam. This is horrible news. So I'm not going to even start off with that. I'm going to start off with Trump and the news from the Venezuelan president who says that, hey man, Trump is playing y'all. This ain't about fentanyl. This is not about drugs. This is about Donald Trump, your president, trying to steal my oil. Yeah. Venezuela president said, hey man, this dude is playing y'all. If y'all falling for this, if you fall for this, you'll fall for anything. So Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said Wednesday that his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump had revealed his true motives toward the South American country with his claim that it had stolen U.S. oil, land, and other assets. Maduro said Trump's claims showed the U.S. was really seeking regime change along with ownership of Venezuela's territory and resources. Previously, the U.S. had characterized its buildup of naval forces near the country as being aimed at combating drug trafficking. Woo, man, when it says one thing, it's usually something else, ain't it? It is simply a warmongering and colonistic pretense. And we have said so many times, and now everyone sees the truth. The truth has been revealed. Maduro said during a speech in Caracas Wednesday, the aim in Venezuela is a regime change to impose a puppet government that wouldn't last 47 hours, that would hand over the constitution, sovereignty, and all the wealth, turning Venezuela into a colony. It would simply never happen, he continued. On Tuesday, Trump wrote on Truth Social that the military buildup around Venezuela would get bigger until the country returned to the U.S. the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us. Who believes this is about drugs and fentanyl? Go in and we're going to invade this country because we're going to put an end once and for all to the fentanyl and drug trade. And them exporting drugs and fentanyl to our country. We love our citizens and we'll do anything to protect our citizens. We value every life. Therefore, anybody that's trying to harm my people in my country, I am going to kill you. Who believes that? Who believes it's about the fentanyl and the drugs? Give me a thumbs up if you believe it's about the fentanyl and the drugs. If you believe that it's about the land and the oil, give me 2 thumbs up. Nobody is falling for this whole drug fentanyl thing. You know, America, they're really like the king of deception. You have to really think now, fam, when you look at all of the wars that America's been involved in, all of the invasions that America has been involved in, you really have to ask yourself, was even one war justified? The only war that I can say that was justified in this country was the Civil War. And I'm pretty sure that it wasn't even about what they said it was about. You know, they really tried to say it was about liberating Black people. That's what they tried to make the Civil War about. They tried to say it was really about that. The truth is they cared nothing about the Black people. But Black people was basically a pawn in the game in the Civil War, the U.S. Civil War, the American Civil War. We were pawns. The only reason why Lincoln freed enslaved people in America was because of the economic advantage that the South had over the North and the rest of the country. The South was doing its own thing. It was enriching itself through slavery. And Lincoln had to bring an end to that because the South was feeling itself. You want us to do what? Now, we ain't got to do nothing, man. We're going to do what we want to do down here. We do what we want to do. Woo, woo, woo. And Lincoln was like, well, you know what? Let's hit them in the pocket. Because the only reason why they flexing the way they're flexing is because they got free slave labor. And if we cripple that, we cripple their economy. We take away their power. So let's hit them in the pocket. And this is what our country does, or your country does, all the time. Anytime you want to destabilize a person, you want to neutralize them, the first thing you do is you try to go after their finances. You try to hit them in the pocket. And, once you do that, a lot of times you'll get people to say uncle. If that don't work, depending on how bad you want them, then you take it to the next level. And y'all know how that goes. So you got to ask yourself, how many times, how many wars have America been involved in where they went under false pretense, where they went illegally, where they started the war illegally? How many countries has America invaded illegally, where they went under false pretense? They put the propaganda machine in place. See, America probably could have pulled this off, right? They probably could have pulled it off, but the problem is Trump talks too much. He wants everybody to know that he's the big bad bully and he don't have to wait on anybody or answer to anybody. So he talks too much. So he pimped his hand. This is when he told on himself. It was this exact moment right here is when he told on himself. Check this out.
All right, well, a beautiful event for three great people. And they're now looking down, and their parents and wives and all of the people that were there were, devastated, but great people, great people. So thank you very much for being there. Yeah, she's doing a great job. Just a blockade. Not going to let anybody go.
Quick note. He was just asked by a female reporter about his chief of staff, the one who said that he suffered from alcoholic personality disorder, right? He had said that he had an alcoholic personality. He did not like those comments, but he just was asked about her, and Trump quickly said she's doing a great job. Remember, I said he's going to fire that woman. She will be fired within the coming days. That is a promise. No way possible he's going to have somebody on his team like that. He has to make an example out of her, and I guarantee you that's going to happen. I'm surprised he didn't throw her under the bus just now, but you'll see what I'm talking about.
Going through that shouldn't be going through. You remember they took all of our energy rights. They took all of our oil from not that long ago, and we want it back, but they took it. They illegally took it.
Did y'all hear what he said? He said Venezuela illegally took our oil and our land. Now, the whole time he's been attacking Venezuela and blowing up boats in the ocean, he's been saying it's about drugs. It's about fentanyl. We ain't heard nothing about no land. We ain't heard nothing about no oil. We ain't heard nothing about these past grievances. Now all of a sudden he's like, well, they took our oil and they took our land and we want it back. Boom! Told on himself. See, he cannot keep his mouth shut because he's too proud. He's too much of a narcissist. So he don't know how to keep a secret unless you're talking about those Epstein files. He's pretty quiet on that part. But everything else, he ain't got no problem on letting you know what the play is. If I'm a general, if I'm part of the whole thing and I'm corrupt like he is, I'm mad at this point. I'm mad. Look, man, now you got us cleaning up stuff, man. Damn, why you have to say something about that, man? Damn. The fuck wrong with you, bro? You know how we do it around here, man. We be lying and stuff, man. We do propaganda, man. We don't do straight up honesty, man. We don't do that. We do propaganda. You know, we got to make them look bad. And we got to tell the American people that it's about drugs or something. You know, they dumb as hell and they'll fall for anything. They believe anything we say. So we got to give them something like that. We can't just straight up say we gonna take it, even though a lot of Americans are bullies and they love taking stuff. That's why they voted for us in the first place. That's why they voted for this administration. That's why they voted for you in the first place, because they themselves are bullies. They themselves are uncivilized. They themselves are corrupt. So, but we still have to act like we're decent people. And this is how we get in and have the meetings with everybody else. We can't straight up tell these people we'll be back in 6 months to invade you. We got to shake their hands and look them in the eyes and brag about them being our ally. You know, we can't be doing stuff. Why'd you say that, man? You didn't have to say that. Now we got to go and do a whole PR campaign to clean this stuff up.